as well. But December is always, I've seen that month popping up as well.
Right. Well, it's what happened on 9/11. The two Twin Towers were hit directly. Then the Pentagon was destroyed. Then the fourth one was the airplane that landed. That crashed in Pennsylvania. And it seems like it's a foreshadow of the prophecy where, it's Columbia, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, and Lexington, Kentucky would be hit squarely on, and everybody would, be killed in those cities.
Yeah.
Fourth, and then it's the fourth is New York, but he said that God showed him that one of our defensive missiles would hit the, nuclear warhead and cause it to wobble, of course.
Yeah, well, they have to do something that's going to produce a great amount of casualties, and they've been tipping us off in the news media about what their next plan is. Being some huge chemical attacks or suitcase nukes going off.
Right.
And that's going to be something that will put this country in martial law. Because, oh no, terrorism, government, help us, protect us. And yeah, sure, they're more than willing to. They're going to kill everybody off that they can.
Right. And also, he said that in that certain year that three other big events would happen. He said that he saw North Korea would attack South Korea, China would attack Taiwan, and then he also said that he saw, he's seen these things back around 1978 or so.
Yeah, well, this is the North Korean Holocaust I've been warning about. Right. And it's the one the Illuminati plans on using, that once the entire Korean Holocaust is at a point of nuclear war, they bring in the Antichrist then via their Blue Beam Project at that point.
Right.
And always, it's always been associated with the Korean Holocaust, the Korean nuclear wars.
Right. And then it's the last one. He said that it's Iran would blow up our U.S. base in Saudi Arabia. It's the headquarters of the U.S., armed forces is there. And also, I did have a dream. It was about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago that I was in my old army camp in Korea, and it was that I was working there as a civilian, and then I came up and I was about to enter into the camp, and I came up to the gate, and I guess in a way, I guess I prophesied or I spoke to the man, and I told him that in the year 2007 that there would be a real big war in Korea.
Yeah.
And also, it's interesting because I've done some study on biblical numerology, and it's that 23 stands for death, and come next year, on July 4th of next year, it would mark that this country would be 230 years old. If you drop the zero, it gives you 23. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like everything is right in place. Yeah,
and it's coming. And 2007, definitely a showdown year.
Right, and
all kinds of levels coming. And we could see, the appetizers hitting the plate in 2005 leading up. We could see a lot of things happening up until then.
Right, and also Chuck Youngman said that after that accidental nuclear attack, within 2 years or so, that it would be the all-out nuclear attack on this country, which brings us to 2009. And I was hearing a lot of your prior shows. It was this week, and I noticed that you said that in the Bible codes that it's the year 2009 really stands out, and it seems like he is actually also saying the year 2009. That's when the ultimate destruction on this country is going to happen.
Oh, 2009. Anything that you could imagine happening could have a year date of that, with it. Comets hitting the Earth, 3 just hitting America itself, 2 on the West Coast, 1 on the East.
Right.
Just every disaster you can think of coming in 2009. And, of course, we know that's the Lord's judgment on the Earth when that stuff starts happening. And that means Antichrist is going to be here. He's going to be here.
Right. And also, he has also seen a comet, which would hit this country, and he said that it would destroy, or the first place it would destroy would be Corpus Christi, and the term Corpus Christi means the body of Christ or the Church of Christ. And it's that I've always felt that we are living in the Laodicean church age.
Yeah.
And it's just that it's the body of Christ. Whether they're saved or not, it's still the body of Christ. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that just, would show that God is not pleased with the people who call themselves Christians, I mean, in a general sense, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that there are still a remnant of true Christians like yourself,
Yeah.
And, and it's that, I have seen all these things come to pass, and it's just that I've also noticed that, a lot of times, usually God, when He judges, it's like, boom, everything happens at once. It's like the great flood and everything.
Yeah, it's going to be like a bathtub of water being let out, how water seeps out of a bathtub slowly, and then once you get towards the bottom, it just starts going down really quick.
Right.
And that's how the events of the last days are going to happen. They're all just going to happen as a flood, one right after the other, really quick.
Okay. As I said, I'm really blessed and honored to be able to learn about you and your web pages, and it's that I'm gonna, with God's help, I'll just stick with you all the way with God's help.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Thanks for the compliments.
Okay.
Lord be blessed.
Lord bless you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Sometimes I just don't know what to do when people call in with nice things to say. I'm just, she gets so used to the critics. And it's just, I appreciate it. I'm not rude. I'm just floored. I don't know how to react. And so, yeah, things are happening, folks. And like I said, Lord's always giving me that bathtub analogy towards the end of days, how you're letting water out of a bathtub and starts to go down slowly, and then once you get towards the end, it starts sucking down really fast, really quick, and that's how the last days are going to be as far as events go. They're going to happen boom, 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 very quickly. And 2007 definitely seems to be the kickoff year, because we know that 2009 we're knee-deep in destruction and mayhem. And not just from what I've seen in the codes, but from what many, many other people have prophesied about 2009 being a pivotal year. And the thing is, we don't even know if 2009 is the beginning of the second half or the end of the second half at this point. Very well could be the end, for all we know, folks. So we know the pivotal year being 2009 one way or the other. It's either going to be the half of the tribulation period or it's going to be the end of it. And so things could be happening very quickly this year on. Or we could have another year of kind of setup year to get ready for 2007 or whatever, and just watching events as they happen, and watching more and more of what these Omegans are doing, the major Maitreya and Sananda and Germain and all them, and the setup freaks for the Antichrist coming, and is the Antichrist going to be Satan incarnate in man, or is it going to be Satan himself coming? I'm leaning. I put either way. Either one wouldn't surprise me at this point. I want to get back and get into some of this article I wrote this week called "A Call to Arms," calling the Lord's people to arm themselves in these last days to be able to protect themselves. A mirror of things to come in these last days. Our future is one of death, destruction, and the arrival of the Antichrist. Events leading up to his arrival are what we are facing daily today with our country, and our government's work and their scripted plans working against each other. You have to realize that the governments of the world are working together to destroy